Good afternoon and welcome to the Comic Club's coverage of the Premier League encounter between Fulham and Arsenal. New Year's Eve, and we've got a game to bring you for the final one of 2023. I'm Russ Finnan and I'm joined alongside my commentator for today, Paul James, and we'll get Paul's thoughts on the game very, very shortly. Just a bit of an update on Luton Town defender Tom Lockyer. You remember he had that cardiac arrest against Bournemouth a couple of weeks ago. Well, I can tell you that he has released a statement this afternoon, and he reads, "I would just like to say that I'm doing very well. I'm feeling much myself after cardiac arrest I suffered in Bournemouth. The reason I'm doing so well is all down to the heroic actions of the players, staff, doctors, and paramedics. I feel thankful that this happened to me, surrounded by these heroes. They saved my life. I will never forget what you did for me." Lockyer goes on to say, "While I'm sad not to be involved, I feel full of pride watching the boys carry on the battle without me. The fighting spirit I've seen in the last 3 games has given me a much needed lift. I'll be doing whatever I can, in whichever ways possible, to help the gaffer and the club in what capacity that is remains to be decided, as I'm due to meet with specialists in the new year." But great news that Tom Lockyer is doing well after that cardiac arrest against Bournemouth just a couple of weeks ago, and we all here at the Comic Club are glad to hear that, and we wish him all the best in the rest of his recovery. Just before we get the team news for our featured game, where both teams have made 3 changes to the side today, let me just bring in our co-commentator Paul James. And Paul, good news there from Tom Lockyer and how he's doing this since his cardiac arrest.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to hear that he's doing well and he's on the mend. And I think he's made it very clear there that he's recovering nicely, and I think that'll be a great relief for everyone in Tom Lockyer's life and all the Luton Town players, fans, and everyone associated with the club.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. The teams are in the tunnel of Craven Cottage as we get ready for kick-off. I can just tell you that both teams have made 3 changes today, starting with Fulham. Castagna, Willian and Jimenez are in for Tete, Pereira and Muniz. Tete and Muniz drop to the bench. No place in the matchday squad for Pereira. He's also on the bench. Should I say Andres Pereira also on the bench? His name on the team sheet is down as Andreas, which he has on the back of his shirt, which confused me a little bit with that change there. As for Arsenal, they made 3 changes. Kyria, Aves and then Keterin. Zinchenko misses out altogether due to a calf problem. Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Jesus drop to the bench in the other 2 changes. So the lineup then for Fulham in a 4-2-3-1 formation. It's Ben Leno in goal, Timothy Castagna, Tosin, Calvin Bassett, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday to Calvin Bassett. Robinson is a left back. Palhinha and Kenny is the 2 men in the front of the back 4. Di Cordova, Reed, Iwobi and Willian play just behind Raul Jimenez. On the bench, Rodak, Tete, Ballatore, Diop, Lukic, Reed, Wilson, Andres Pereira and Rodrigo Muniz. As for Arsenal, they line up in a 4-3-3 formation. It's David Raya in goal for them. Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel and Jakub Kyria across the back. Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice and Kai Havertz are the midfield trio. And the 3 men in attack is Bukayo Saka on the right, Gabriel Martinelli on the left, and the lone striker today is Eddie Nketiah. The bench for the Gunners is Aaron Ramsdale, Cedric Soares, Tomiyasu, Smith Rowe, Jorginho, El Nene, Jesus, Trossard, Nelson. There's been reports today that Tomiyasu and Reece Nelson are being looked at by Arsenal to send out on loan in the second part of this season. We'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. Leandro Trossard on the bench as Aves returns from suspension. Tomiyasu back in the matchday squad for the first time in quite a while after injury today as well. And Paul, with the team news then, 1 and 4 change for Arsenal today, Zinchenko being out injured. What did you make some other performances? Maybe also personally surprised that Nketiah started today's place Jesus and Aves is back in place of Trossard after the game against West Ham.
Well, the changes are interesting. I guess I'm not surprised to see Kai Havertz back. Um, the interesting one I'm looking at is Gabriel Jesus. He's dropping to the bench. Of course, the injury to Zinchenko, it could be a problem for Arsenal because Zinchenko does like to get forward periodically throughout the day. So he is definitely somebody I think Arsenal is going to miss today. But they'll be glad to have Kai Havertz back. His form this season is very, very impressive. And he's been on a bit of a scoring roll lately as Kai Havertz. He's currently got 4 goals in the Premier League at the moment as well. So bit of a threat brought back for Havertz. I got a feeling they missed him a little bit against West Ham.
Yeah, I think they did as well, Paul. When you watch that game, you can see how influential he is and how big a miss he is when he's not playing. Kind of has 4 goals in last 8 appearances for Arsenal. I wonder if he'll make it 5 in 9 this afternoon against Fulham. Calvin Bassey, I mentioned, is his birthday today. He celebrates his 24th birthday today on New Year's Eve. So big happy birthday to him. He'll be looking to keep a clean sheet. The Nigerian defender started 10 of the last 11 games. He was ill for the 3-0 defeat at Newcastle on December the 16th. Sent off in first Fulham and Premier League start, which was a 2-2 draw away to Arsenal back in August. So he'll be looking to not get a repeat of that. He'll be looking not to get a card, those kind of cards today on his birthday, Calvin Batsey. He'll be looking to get other kinds of cards that everybody sends you on your birthday, not the ones from the match referee today. Who I can tell you is Josh Smith, assisted by Eddie Smart and Nick Greenhalgh. Tim Robinson is the fourth official. Paul Tini is on VAR with Scott Ledger. And it'll be Arsenal that will get us off and underway. It looked as though Martin Odegaard was doing the taking of the knee very early before the rest of the players did, but he was just fastening up his shoelaces or boot laces on both of his boots. Josh Smith is ready. He's from Peterborough. The game is about to get underway. And away we go then for this Premier League encounters. David Ray boosts the ball long up looking for the win of Kai Havertz, and he balls out of play for a throw to Fulham early on here. Remains 0-0, 12 seconds gone as we look for this game today. As the ball's played out of play for a throw-in to Fulham again. Timothy Castagna, formerly of Leicester City, playing right back today in for Kenny Tete, who drops down to the bench. Be surprised by that. I thought Kenny Tete has played absolutely fantastic in the last few games for Fulham at right back. Maybe just wanting a bit of experience in there at right back in place of Castagna as he comes Fulham with D. Cordova Reid. Gives the ball away as he's trying to find Ken inside. Well, Jakob Kira, the left back today for Arsenal, normally a centre back. Finds Declan Rice and it goes back to Saliba and all the way back to David Ray, who was outside of his goal, all in blue today. Arsenal in their train strip of green shirts, green shorts, white socks. Fulham in white shirts, black shorts, black socks. Fulham kicking to the goal away to my right hand side as we watch this game. As Arsenal just played around at the back here. It's Saliba into Declan Rice and across now to Gabriel, who will try and come forward. Gabriel gets it back to Saliba, back into Declan Rice, and Rice will play the ball out wide to Bukayo Saka. Saka drops the ball back to Ben White. Two Englishmen combine into William Saliba. Now Jakub Kiwior, who's doing the Zinchenko role today, dropping into that midfield. Every available opportunities. Gabriel Martinelli to Jakub Kiwior, back around the corner towards Martinelli. He's been given away, but Arsenal get the back. With Nketiah finding Declan Rice just inside the centre circle, inside the Arsenal half. Over halfway now in Ben White on the right hand side, down the line into Martin Odegaard. Odegaard out wide to Bukayo Saka. Good footwork this from Bukayo Saka. Can he get the ball in? Back to Ben White it goes. Now here comes Saliba again. Declan Rice. Good ball into Martin Odegaard. Trying to give out Anthony Robinson, but Anthony Robinson does fantastically well up against Odegaard, but Odegaard still got there. Odegaard goes for goal and just wide in the end for Martin Odegaard, and that's a good bit of play from Arsenal and Odegaard down that side, trying to cause a few problems as well there. And that is good bit of play in the end from Arsenal. And that's a good bit of movement in there from Martin Odegaard as they try and get a strike in on goalers through Martin Odegaard. And been a good start to this game, Paul, and Arsenal going close just there.
Yeah, it was a good effort by Odegaard. Just got to the edge of the area and managed to get a shot away. It's much improved from the West Ham game, where they were a bit reluctant to have shots from outside the penalty area. But Martin Odegaard cuts away from the two Fulham defenders, and he's so dangerous from that position. And he just curled the shot just away from the goalkeeper's right-hand post.
Yes, still 0-0 then. 3 minutes gone here in the Premier League between Fulham and Arsenal. As Fulham just have it to the bow with Paulinho, plays the ball looking out to that left-hand side, looking for the run of Alex Iwobi, who moved out to that left-hand side along with Robinson. Iwobi playing in the number 10 up again. One of his former employees, also played at Everton. Here's Willian up against his former club as well, though. What can Willian do? He plays a wonderful ball into the penalty area. Can Stanley get there? Can. Will pose the ball back only into the arms of David Ray. Now Arsenal can break if they can play this quickly. As Gabriel Martinelli comes down the left-hand side. Got a lot of space to run into us. The right back of Casado's forward. Into the penalty area he goes now. Gets a strike and a goal and save. But then Saka puts it in on the rebound. And Arsenal take the lead. Fantastic goal by Mikhail. David Ray bowled the ball out quickly. Martinelli broke into that space, left by Castagna. Fulham tried to get back into it, and he put the ball, took a shot. He's Saka offside. I don't think he is. I think he's just been played on, and Saka pushed it in. We'll just see from this angle here. Is Saka offside here? I'm not sure. I think we may have to go to a VAR check here. Paul, your thoughts on this? Is it offside against Bukayo Saka?
It could be, but I mean, at the same time, the build up to the goal was brilliant. Martinelli just attacking the goal there, getting into on the left hand side, cuts into the penalty area. The Fulham defender's not getting close enough. No, I think he's onside there. When he gets a shot away, I think he's level. Let's take another look at this again. And yes, it's close, but I think he's level.
I can tell you, Paul, the goal has been given. Bukayo Saka scored his 6th goal of the season for Arsenal. They lead by a goal to 0 against Fulham. VAR did have a quick look at that, I'm told. Well, found nothing wrong with it. It is Anthony Robinson now for Fulham. Can they get an immediate response, which is what they've been good at when they've been going behind this season, Fulham? Robinson again. Good bit of play to Paulinho. Back he goes to Tosin, and who's got the ball now from Batsy, whose 24th birthday it is today. That's not a start he would have wanted on his birthday to go behind to Arsenal. Alex Iwobi. They'll look to try and change things against his former side. And now it remains to see what Fulham do if they'll get back into this game as Castagna can come forward. It'll be interesting to see how Fulham approach this game now. They'll go behind as Bassett picks up the ball. How wide it goes to Robinson, who just keeps the ball in play and does well. Back to Batsy, who go across to Tosin and Adebayo inside the centre circle. It's Tosin. Batsy again. Inside his own half. On halfway. Into the centre circle and Tosin. He will look to get the ball out wide to this right hand side, and Timothy Castagna was hugging the touchline into the Cordova Reed, who's coming through from that right hand side. Jimenez out wide to Castagna again. Fulham probing as they try and get back into this game. We'll see how Fulham respond, and we'll get the thoughts of Paul James and Fulham's response to going a goal behind shortly. Here is Willian, linked with Nottingham Forest in the summer, but opted to stay at Craven Cottage. Tom Kenny, the captain. Bassett to Tosin as he tries to get Fulham moving forward. Castagna, down the line is Cordova Reed, up against Jacob Kiria. Gets past Kiria, does he now? Kiria stands his ground well. Pushed out for a throw in. We'll get balls lost in just a second as Castagna will line up this throw in. Good bit of play here. Back towards Alex Iwobi. Turson across there into Bassi. Good bit of work. Here's Kelly back to Bassi again. Back to Turson on halfway. Moves it forward into the right hand side as Deco Reed and Cassania played knee ball, but that ball through from Cassania looking for it. Well, Jimenez runs through to David Raya and it remains 1-0 to Arsenal. Almost 8 minutes gone here. And Paul, your thoughts on the game between the opening exchanges and Fulham's start, also say response to going to go behind?
Well, right now Fulham are being very positive, which is what they've got to do. They can't afford to let their heads drop conceding an early goal at home like that. So they have to now be as positive as they can and try to get themselves back into the game, which is what they appear to be doing. Arsenal look like there's no messing about today. There was definitely far too much passing and trying to play the perfect pass and walking the ball into the net in the previous game. This game, Arsenal look like they're more about the direct route.
Yes, and then Nketiah just wins his side a free kick there. And Arsenal wanted a free kick for a foul by Polina on Havertz. Polina never touched Havertz there. But it did look like an handball against Polina. But that wasn't given. And then they got a free kick for a foul on Eddie Nketiah instead. So Arsenal have got the ball back. Here comes Saliba. Finds Gabriel, who will look to get the ball forward. Martinelli. Being forced by Cordova-Reid, but he loses out to Jakub Kiwior. Kiwior down the line, he goes for Gabriel Martinelli again. Wonderful bit of play this between Arsenal's left back to then the wing guys the ball into the clear for arms. The former Arsenal goalkeeper, Renault, which is to see how he gets this afternoon. As I mentioned, the former Arsenal goalkeeper. As the ball's flicked on by Jimenez looking for Cordova-Reid, and now Martinelli gets the ball inside to Kai Havertz. Drops it back to Declan Rice, who will look to get this ball moving forward. Out wide, so the runners and an halfway to Ben White, back into Declan Rice, who will look to go into the centre for Jakub Kiwior, but instead he goes across to Gabriel. Arsenal trying to come forward here. Gabriel back to Saliba. Rice again has possession. Up towards halfway. Back to Ben White. There's been a goal in the other game between Tottenham and Bournemouth, and it's 1-0 to Tottenham. Start on 9 minutes with the goal there. Pepe Mate Sarr with the goal. 9 minutes gone in the other game. Taking place in the Premier League today. It remains 1-0 to Arsenal here. If you're just joining us here, all the commentary also live on JB Sports. Commentary up 2, focus on football. And my own Twitch channel was pvernon_92. If you want to listen to us there, you can do. As Arsenal just lose possession as Basti does well on his birthday to get the ball back for Fulham. And now here's Alex Iwobi down the line to Cordova-Reid, who's been fouled there by Gabriel. And Fulham have a free kick, and Fulham have done really well. If you're all listening via Twitch today and you're about to go out into your car, you can change it to just have audio only on your mobile phone. You can connect your phone up to your car if you normally do that, and play the commentary through the car and listen to us while you're driving around. And if it's safe and legal to do so, you're out and listening, you want to get your comments in, feel free to do so. You can put them in the live chat, or you can tweet us at Commentary Live 1, and we'll read some of your thoughts out a little bit later on. As is, he could overread into Timothy Castagna, gets the ball back off of Gabriel, and then Martinelli gets the ball away to Declan Rice, who is fouled there. It was Kai Havertz who was fouled in fact, which remains 1-0 to Arsenal. And since that opening goal from Arsenal, Fulham have really given a good kick out themselves. Arsenal are showing some good defensive work, Paul, but Fulham giving a good account of themselves now, and this is how they should have started the game rather than starting very, very slowly for them.
Yeah, they're responding very positively now. They're trying to break Arsenal's defence down, which, of course, as we all know, is easier said than done. But they're going about it the right way. They're creating chances, they're getting the balls down the wings, and they're trying to break Arsenal open at the moment without luck. But they've certainly responded very well of Fulham.
The others, Fulham just managed to head this free kick away. Here's Alex Iwobi trying to get the ball forward against Gabriel. Gabriel wins it back, pushes it down for Turson, gets the ball clear. Gabriel wins the header again. Martinelli inside to Havertz. Cordova Reed and Pellegrini get the ball back for Fulham, and he's working the way back to Ben Leno, who finds Calvin Batsey. Batsey will look to get the ball forward. Down the line he goes looking for Robinson. Jimenez is there. Pulled the ball behind Robinson, but the offside flag was raised against Raul Jimenez, and that he was stopped in his tracks there. Well, it was 30 minutes on the clock. It's Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. If you're just joining us here this afternoon, Russ Vernon and Paul James, your commentary team. Got our producer behind the scenes, Luke Turton, with the producing everything, giving us the updates from the Spurs game as well when a goal goes in, so we can keep you up to date with their game against Bournemouth this afternoon, which is Luke today. Luke will be back on the airwaves tomorrow when we'll bring you the next live offering of the Premier League action, as that is between Liverpool and Newcastle on air from 7:55 tomorrow. That's our next offering here on the TC Hub between the two sides in the Premier League action. And as everywhere claims the ball there as Fulham try to get forward again. Good bit of movement and a good ball in from Robinson and a good effort from Jimenez on the edge of the box, who was too near the goalkeeper. As I was going through telling you what the next live offering game is, but it remains 1-0 to Arsenal. Jacob Kiwior, Paul James will be in the commentary chair. Luke will be in the co-commentator's chair for that one. Hopefully I'll be able to join them as part of the broadcast team tomorrow, as we see Arsenal win a free kick, fouled by Calvin Bassett on Eddie Nketiah, and also get on with the free kick quickly. Kiwior into Rice. Good middle movement this from Declan Rice as he tries to get the ball forward, but it goes back to Saliba and across to Gabriel. Arsenal will try and come forward in this game as here comes Saliba again. Across into Ben White. Down the line is Martin Odegaard. Odegaard into Declan Rice. Good bit of movement from Rice. Now Kiwior across to Gabriel. Out wide is Martinelli. Gabriel Martinelli, down the line he goes into the penalty area. Pulls the ball back. Fulham managed to clear. Cordova Reed is there against Gabriel, who nudges him in the back. No foul given, is it? No, the foul has been given. I think the free kick had been given there initially, but given in the end. Free kick to Fulham. Good bit of play there in the end, as they got that free kick. As it looked as though Castagna had lost that battle there against Gabriel, but it was just nudged over. And free kick was correctly given as the ball was played long, looking for the run of Raul Jimenez. Pellegrini wins the header. Pellegrini again wins the header. And is broke into Bobby Cordova Reed. Down the line is Timothy Castagna. Good play this from Timothy Castagna. Can he get the ball in towards the penalty area? He can. Chips the ball in towards the back post. Willian can't get there. Saka can. Willian gets a toe into there. Calvin Baxter wins the header. Robinson brings it down from under the brilliant blue skies here in West London, down by the banks of the River Thames. Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. It is a cold one though today as well. There's a bit of a breeze around, but it still looks a nice but breezy day here in West London as Fulham take on Arsenal. Bassey down the line he goes to Robinson, back to Bassey now. Tom Kearney can fetch his ball forward for Fulham. Wonderful run from Tom Kearney, the captain. Out wide he goes to Willian. Up against Declan Rice as Willian cuts in field. But Ben White gets the ball back brilliantly there. Good defensive play from Ben White to get back at Fulham. There's Saka's nudged off the ball fairly as Robinson now can come forward. Good ball into Raul Jimenez. Jimenez, right hand side, looking for another decode over read, but he tries to play the ball in towards. It will be there, but good cut out in the end by Gabriel. Now Arsenal have possession back. Coming towards 18 minutes on the clock, it remains Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. And Paul, what's been your assessments of the opening coming towards 18 minutes of this game?
Well, Arsenal have slowed down since the goal. Since they got the first goal, Fulham have kind of been a bit more positive. They've tried to create chances and come forward. They've not been able to break Arsenal's defence down. But Arsenal have slowed down a little bit and have not created anything really positive since then. So at the moment it's still 1-0, but the game is open for Fulham to try to break down Arsenal's defence. They just haven't had much luck doing that at the moment.
Yes, it is Alex Iwobi from Jimenez just passed. It looked as though Jimenez was going to shoot. Iwobi pushed the ball in towards Jimenez, who goes down. No penalty, comes to Willian in the back post. Willian just wide, curling effort from the left hand side from Willian, and it goes just the wrong side of the post there. And Fulham almost catching Arsenal there, and that's a good bit of movement. Good ball in from Willian. Looked like Jimenez has been fouled by Saliba, but in the end, I don't think he was. Come to Willian in the back post, and so unlucky there from Willian, who should have really made it 1-1, Paul.
Well, yeah, this is a great cross though from Iwobi, isn't it? And it goes right to the back post, and he's not closed down quick enough. That's the first time Arsenal's defence looks vulnerable today. Willian wasn't closed down quickly enough. He had the shot on goal. Unfortunately for Arsenal, it flew past David Raya's left-hand post.
Yes, and Arsenal being put under pressure again as Ray just has to put his boot through the ball down the line. They're looking for Eddie Nketiah, who's done well up against Bassey. Can he get there? Bassey was nudging the ball by Nketiah, but he still manages to come away with the ball. So the referee's played advantage into Turton from Leno. And now Fulham will try and come forward. This is a good game now. It's starting to open up. Fulham having to come out, which will leave space for Arsenal to attack. When Arsenal come forward and Fulham get the ball back, it's a good entering feel to this game now. Is decode over Reed. What can he do with possession? He finds Bassey into Polina. Joe Polina across to Turton as Fulham are playing the ball inside the Arsenal half. All the outfield players for Fulham are inside the Arsenal half, and all the outfield players for Arsenal are inside the Fulham half. Inside the Arsenal half as well, should I say. They're in both teams inside the opposition's half, but they've gone the ball back into the Fulham half with Leno playing as a defender. Fulham in the moment looks like they're playing a 1 in terms of Leno. 5-5. As he's Robinson on the left hand side up against Ben White. Delivers across in, Saliba's there. Saliba can chest it away. Penalty is that? No, comes to Willian. There's a penalty, still going. Willian, can he get straight to the goal? He can. Blocked. Coming out to Alex Iwobi. Shot blocked again. Goes behind for a corner. Fulham
Arsenal
wanting a
living
penalty.
dangerously here, Ross. They're living really dangerously here.
Yeah, also wanting a penalty. Foul by Saliba and decode over Reed. I think VAR will be checking that. I don't think it is. Just look at this again from this angle. Is it foul? If anything, for me, decode over Reed kicks the ankle of Saliba. VAR will be checking this though. But, it could be a penalty, you know. We'll wait. I think VAR checking it still. Are VAR checking it? No, it's check over, corner given, no penalty. What can Fulham do from this corner? Willian takes it towards Jimenez. Fires it just over the bar, but Fulham causing Arsenal a few problems now, and Arsenal, like Paul rightly said, living dangerously now, Paul, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right, Ross. No penalty for me either. It does look like Decordova Reed kicked Saliba ankle there before he went down, so no penalty for me. But yes, Arsenal are beginning to live dangerously, and Fulham are dominating possession right now.
Yes, it's Nketiah. How wide to Bukayo Saka? Also need a second goal. Saka, can he provide him with that? No. As the cross is headed away by Bassey. Now further forward by Iwobi. Arsenal are just coming back at Fulham. First time Arsenal have really had a bit of staying possession inside the Fulham half for quite a while now. Martin Odegaard. What can Odegaard do here now? Back towards Saka, but he goes away from Saka and he keeps on the ball to find Ben White instead. David Raya has gone down off of the ball. Do you really see what happened with David Raya there? He's pointed to his eye. Looks like his vision is going. Here for, there's something in David Raya's eye here. So it looks as though Ramsdale has been told to go and warm up here. David Raya looks like he can't see out of his right eye, which is not a good sign for Arsenal, which may need to be forced into a change. We're just looking at what happened here. Is it here? And it's happened. No, this is the goal again. We're just looking at the goal again. Fantastic bit of play. Look at this one from Gabriel Martinelli. Down the line he went. Castagne was so far up the field. Left that space for Martinelli to run into. And then his shot was too on for Leno to hold on to. Just pushes up off the knee of Bukayo Saka and goes in. Also won't care how it goes in. All that they care about, no, it comes off his foot actually. All that they care about is how it goes into the back. And it goes into the back of the net and they're leading 1-0. They won't care that it was a scrappy goal. Because it looked like it come off his knee at first. Well taken finish from Saka. Right back on up to his feet. Looks like it will be continuing at this moment in time, but Aaron Ramsdale warming up for Arsenal. That could be a big bit of a concern if David Raya has to go off, Paul, for Ramsdale, because of his vision. He's not going to look good if he does have to go off. How do you think this will affect the way Arsenal are playing at the moment?
Well, I don't know if it'll really affect the way Arsenal are playing too much. Aaron Ramsdale is a very competent backup. The issue maybe with David Raya may be facing. So I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but it could be a little bit of blurred vision, I guess. But we'll see how it goes on for David Raya. But I think if they do have to resort to Aaron Ramsdale, it's a very competent backup, and I don't think Arsenal will need to change a great deal as a consequence.
Yes, here is Gabriel Martinelli. Ramsdale still warming up down below us and to the left-hand side. Here's Rice to find White. Back to Declan Rice again from Ben White as he can come forward now. Declan Rice. Out to Bukayo Saka. Back into Ben White again. White is forced backwards into Saliba. Now Gabriel. What can Gabriel do here now? He can find Kai Havertz, who back in the Saturday been looking good in recent weeks for Arsenal up until his suspension. And he's controlled things today when he's had to. Declan Rice controlling things is the art of midfield like he always does for Arsenal, like he did for West Ham as well. Jakob Kiwior playing the Zinchenko role and this time almost giving the ball away, but fantastic work from Gabriel Martinelli to get back and win the ball back for Arsenal and find it to Gabriel and then keep the ball moving with Ben White. Declan Rice to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard down the line he goes into the wards Bukayo Saka. Saka can come forward here. How wide he goes to Gabriel Martinelli. Wonderful bit of play from Martinelli. What can he do here now? He goes infield to Gabriel. A favour across to Declan Rice. Rice forward into Bukayo Saka. Through towards Kai Havertz, who can't get there. And that's a good bit of play from Arsenal. Just the final ball not being executed properly there. But this, again, is a good bit of move from Arsenal. But just the final ball not being executed correctly. As Fulham can try and come forward with Bassey playing a wonderful ball down the left channel for Anthony Robinson to chase onto. Robinson plays off at Ben White out for a throw-in. And this is a good bit of play then from Arsenal just a few moments ago. But then Fulham now on the attack. We'll get the thoughts of Paul James on the Arsenal attack just there in a few moments. It is Kearney now for Fulham. Finds Bassey into Tosin. Inside the centre circle, inside the Arsenal half. Now across to the right and Iwobi. He has to go back to Tosin on halfway. How wide to this right hand side and Alex Iwobi again. Iwobi looking for options. He has to go back to Tosin. There's no one making that run forward. It was telling where he wanted him to go, but no run was being made. Here's Kenny though. Fulham still have possession. Willian. Excuse me. Tosin now has possession. Iwobi. Now this movement. As Averse gets the ball back for Arsenal, but Fulham regain possession there through Jimenez brilliantly and all the way back to Ben Lennon. Just going back to that Arsenal chance a few moments ago, Paul. Saka just played. It was a good ball from Saka, good idea, but just too much on the ball trying to get Averse in behind there.
Yeah, it was a bit more positive from Arsenal, which was good to see. But yes, the final ball eventually through there just had a bit too much power on it.
Yes, it's now Fulham can break down the left-hand side. Here's Willian. Wonderful bit of play in towards Tom Kenny. Kenny with the ball across. Raul Jimenez is 1-1. Fulham have equalised. Raul Jimenez, the former Wolves striker, gives Fulham back on level terms in this game. William as well. Willian down the right hand side into Tom Kearney. His own side is Raul Jimenez, and he puts Fulham back on level terms. And Fulham, since going behind, have got what they deserve, which is an equaliser. It's Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, Paul.
Yeah, it's been coming. In my mind, it's been coming for quite a while. Again, it was a turnover just inside their own half. The ball comes across to Willian. He plays the pass across there. He's onside there, is Jimenez. But again, it's played right across the penalty area, right to the back post. And none of the Arsenal defenders are able to get their foot in the way. And right there on the corner of the 6-yard box is Raul Jimenez to put it under the goalkeeper. Johnny on the spot there. 1-1. I have to say Fulham deserve it.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. And 5 goals in his last 7 appearances in the Premier League now for Raul Jimenez, formerly of Wolverhampton Wanderers as well. Be interested to see how this goes for the remainder of this game. Raul Jimenez going very, very well. This was before today, Raul Jimenez had played 9 career appearances against Arsenal, all in the Premier League. I want to know how many goals has he scored before this one, so not including today's. How many goals had Jimenez scored against Arsenal in the previous 9, because this is his 10th career appearance against Arsenal. How many goals in the previous 9 did he score? Let us know what your guess is. I'll give you the answer at half time. And Paul, if you want to have a guess at that one, you can do.
I'm not sure. I might just have a stab in the dark at it, but I'm not altogether sure of the answer of that question.
No problem, my friend. For Arsenal with possession as Saliba finds Declan Rice. So Rice can make Arsenal tick at times as Kai Havertz drops it back into Gabriel. Luke, our producer, if you want to have a guess at that one, you can do so as well. And he has. We'll let you know if he's correct in a moment. Here is Martin Odegaard. Good bit of play. Here's Alex Iwobi. Good movement. Iwobi now to Jimenez, who's been fouled. Arsenal concede a free kick. Martin Odegaard having a word with Josh Smith there for this free kick, fouled by William Saliba. Luke is guessing 3 today for the answer to that question. I'll let you know if Luke is correct. And like Luke says, he's resting his voice today after the Forest against Manchester United game yesterday. He was speaking to us last night, was Luke, and I could tell his voice needed a rest. And he said it was down to screaming at Matt Turner for giving the ball away, which led to Manchester United's equaliser in their 2-1 defeat at Nottingham Forest last night. Here is Gabriel, who can try and get the ball forward. What can they do here now? Good bit of play. Here is Odegaard out wide to Bukayo Saka. Saka doing very, very well on that right hand side. Cuts in field. Finds Odegaard. Martin Odegaard to Kai Havertz. Havertz out wide to Gabriel Martinelli. Back he goes to Jakub Kiwior. Kiwior across now to Rice. Back he goes from Odegaard to Rice. Out wide again to Martinelli as Arsenal try and build the way forward. Ball in towards the penalty area goes. Saka is it back across. With Odegaard. And Ketty is there and saved by Ben Leno in the end. But Fulham doing really, really well there defensively. No letting Arsenal have much space when the knockdowns come in. Tom Kenny there brilliantly puts off Martin Odegaard and then puts a bit of pressure on Eddie Nketiah so he couldn't get a clean strike on goal. The ball is looking for Di Cordova. Read the ball just bounces out of play and now for a throw-in. And that Arsenal chance there, Paul, is the best event since the goal was scored.
Sorry, Ross, could you repeat that?
I said that chance there from Arsenal was the best they've had since the goal, and it was good defensive play from Tom Kenny to put both Odegaard and Nketiah off.
Oh yeah, it was good defensive play. Arsenal are trying to create something, but I think at the moment they're just finding it very difficult against this Fulham team who've got their tails up. And at the moment, in this first half, I would argue that Fulham are the better team.
Yes, Fulham have been the better side. And for me, Paul, I don't know about you, but for me, they've been the better side since the Arsenal goal.
They've certainly been the most positive, and I think as the game's gone on, since the Arsenal goal, Arsenal have backed off. And they've allowed Fulham possession, and as a consequence, Fulham have got themselves back into this game.
Yes, it's Raul Jimenez, right inside of the penalty area, back to Iwobi. Now it is Tosin Adebayo into Calvin Bassey. Bassey does well. Into Tosin again. Now Alex Iwobi once more. Fulham knocking on the door. Try and get it back. Try and get into the lead, which their play deserves to be. As the ball is cut out of play there by Gabriel for a throw to Arsenal. Last 10 shots, 4 for Arsenal, 6 for Fulham in this game in the last 10 shots. That just goes to show how dominant Fulham have been in this game since the opening goal of the game and since Raul Jimenez just equaliser as well. Arsenal yet to really get going in this game. They had a brief spell where they scored from, but after that, Fulham have been on top and they can come forward here now, Arsenal, if they can play this right. Kai Havertz is looking for movement to pass the ball, but he has to go back to Jakub Kiwior into Kai Havertz again. Now Declan Rice has it on off inside the centre circle, inside the Fulham off, and Fulham have just won the ball back. Polina, can he get the ball out wide to this right hand side? He can't. He can't over. Back he goes to Castagna into Tosin, across to Bassett into Kenny. Brilliant play that from Tom Kenny to get out wide to Robinson. Forward into Alex Iwobi. Just moves across towards our left from the number 10 position. Out to the left hand side and Willian. Good play from Willian there. What can Willian do here with the ball? Keeps the ball moving forward. Here's Polina again. Fulham just keeping possession. And just as I say that, Castagna just can't keep the ball in play. Out for a throw into Arsenal. And just as we're praising Fulham there, it was the poor pass. Case of the commentator, I'd have to say. Got some more Premier League action coming up for you to start off the new year. We're in the new year in West London, starting the new year on Merseyside as we are at Liverpool against Newcastle tomorrow. You can join Paul, James and Luke Turton on air from 7:55. In the end, there's for that match tomorrow. That's our next live offering in the Premier League. As here comes Saka with the ball. It was a penalty. There he goes through everybody and out of play for a goal kick for throwing to Arsenal. Fulham, should I say, from Saka's ball in. It remains Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. Castagna will look to take the throwing. What can Castagna do here with possession? Gets it back to Turson, puts his boot through the ball. Jimenez holds his face there, nothing given against foul by Gabriel. As Odegaard goes down, free kick given to Arsenal. Foul on Martin Odegaard, who lays on his back. Now sits up and now rolls on the floor with his face in the grass. The ball hits him. He now gets back to his feet. He crouches down now. Back up to his feet. Ben White's there coming across to talk to him. Odegaard moves away. Comes back to where the free kick's going to be taken from. Martinelli's out wide. If he decides to play it out wide, or he's got men over on that far side, he wants to play it directly into the penalty area. Martinelli moves across, so he can't play it out wide anymore. He's going to be leading towards the back post. There's a few Arsenal players who were just offside initially, but they've got themselves back on side. Comes out to the edge of the box. Martinelli's shot is blocked. Headed away by Robinson. And this trying around the corner and does so well by nudging out of the way perfectly legally Saka, but Arsenal almost getting the ball back. There's a foul on Calvin Bassey, free kick given. Saka's having away with the linesman saying he should have had a free kick there. Let's have a look at this one again for me. This is it. It's a free kick. Not. It could be. I've seen them given. That's the category I'm going to put it in. Seen them given. Paul, was that free kick there for you from far by Jimenez on Saka, or was it not a free kick for you?
Well, he went with the shoulder into his back. I've seen them given a few times. It's I'm not entirely surprised though that the referee didn't give it, because I mean this is all down to what I've said so many times, interpretation of the rules and everything else. But he goes right into the back of Saka. I would have given that.
Yes, and Arsenal win a free kick, foul on Eddie Nketiah, boot into the chest from Anthony Robinson there. Nketiah wanting a booking for Robinson. Only a free kick has been given, no booking for the Fulham left back today. Here comes Arsenal in possession with Gabriel into Saliba. Saliba does well, back to Gabriel. And he takes it away from Alex Iwobi over halfway, who gives the ball away to Kenny. Now De Cordova retakes over. Finds Calvin Bassey, who can try and get the ball forward. Good response from Fulham, as I keep mentioning, to going the goal behind against Arsenal early on. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1 is the scoreline. It's how wide it goes. Here is a rub. It can't keep the ball in play from Castagna's pass down the line. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1 is the scoreline. If you're just showing this here on the commentary up, Russ Vernon alongside Paul James for you today. Now here is Declan Rice, Jacob Kiwiat. There's Jesus dropped to the bench today. Be surprised by that one.
I'm a little bit surprised by that, Ross. To be honest, it's I don't know whether he picked up a knock in the last game. Mind you, he wasn't at his best against West Ham, so maybe he's just rotation for Mikel Arteta.
Yes, and I'm just about to ask you, what have you made to Nketiah's start in this game, Paul, coming towards the half time? What have you made to Nketiah's first half performance? Do you think he's justified him starting?
Well, he's justified in starting. He's a very talented forward. But like most of the Arsenal forwards today, he's been shut down. But you know, he does have 5 goals this season in the Premier League, so we know that he's capable of scoring goals.
Yes, good bit of play from Arsenal here as Saka played the ball in to Martin Odegaard, who played the ball across the knee lift for the Declan Rice's pass into Martinelli, and who just fired the shot wide of the post there as Arsenal almost scored just before half time. Coming up towards the 42.5 minutes of this first half, it remains Fulham 1, Arsenal 1 here on the commentary. But that was a decent effort from Arsenal. Just couldn't find the target, Paul.
Yeah, goodness me, that was actually quite close. Martinelli, good. That was really, really good use of improvisation. He just gets the touch on the ball with a toe poke. Leno wasn't getting there if it was on target, and it just goes wide.
Yes, just wide from Ben Leno in the end as they from Arsenal as Leno tried to get across there, but like you said, Paul, don't think Ben Leno would have got that. Here is Saliba to Kyria. Now Gabriel has possession. He gives the ball away. Kenny gets the ball back for Fulham. Tosin finds Alex Iwobi. We're looking for Iwobi there. We're looking for Deco Overreader. As in now. Into Ken. Into Plino goes down. No free kick given. It's Kai Havertz. Comes away with possession. Wonderful run from Kai Havertz. Martin Odegaard's there now. Odegaard. What can he do here? Goes down. No free kick given. Alex Iwobi can come away with possession. There's Calvin Bassett. Brilliant bit of run from Calvin Bassett. That. I mean, Alex Iwobi got the same age down today. Just couldn't make out which one it was. Now here is Willian. What can he do here with the ball? Out wide to Robinson. Into Kearney. Rice intercepts, but then once he gets the ball back, Saka gives the ball away to Polina. Polina finds Tosin Adebayo inside the centre circle, over halfway, inside the Arsenal half, and he strikes a goal long way out, always going wide. And with about less than 60 seconds to go, thereabouts, Paul, about 9 seconds to go in the first half. What have you made to this first half, and what do you think will be the happier of the two managers when we get to half time?
No, I think Marco Silva's going to be the happiest. I think his Fulham team started off with a bad start with the early goal on 5 minutes by Bukayo Saka, but since then Fulham have come into the game and ultimately been the better team for most of this first half. They've created chances, they've opened Arsenal up, they've got the equaliser on 28 minutes through Raul Jimenez. For me, I think Mikel Arteta will be quite disappointed with the way Arsenal have played in the first half. After having such a great start to the game, they seem to have backed off from having such a wonderful start to the game. They haven't capitalised on that early goal.
Yes, and Fulham have really responded well as Martinelli wins a free kick for Arsenal as we enter stoppage time at the end of this first half. Just wait to see how many minutes. And we have got 4 minutes to the end of this first half. And Paul, 4 minutes to the end of this first half, do you think is what this match is deserved, or do you think it should be a little less, or do you think 4 minutes is round about right?
Well, we've had the 2 goals. We had the stoppage involving David Raya. I think 4 minutes is probably about right. Perhaps a little liberal, but I would say I'm not going to argue with it. It's not like it was. I mean, in the game I did yesterday, it was 10 minutes at the City Ground. Goodness knows where they got that from. Yeah, I think 4 minutes is okay.
Yes, here is Ben White as Arsenal just try and come forward toward and this first half stronger than what they have played this entire first half. They've been passive Arsenal. They've not really gone into the game much. As Nketiah's inside the penalty now. And Nketiah outside of the box. Finally just wide of the post. And Eddie Nketiah just couldn't take it in his stride and just push the ball wide. May have just been offside. Or could have been just on him. That's where to see from a different angle. It looked offside from the angle we've just seen it from. The angle you can't really tell. But here's the stanchion behind the net, Eddie Nketiah, and Arsenal going close to making it 2-1 just before half time. We've played 90 seconds of the stoppage time so far. Remains Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, and that chance for Nketiah there, Paul. Should he have done better?
Well, he gets himself in a good position. I think he's just offside, actually, but he's gone for the near post. I think it'd have been better going for the far post, to be honest. I don't think he would have beaten Bernd Leno from that angle. But it's good to see that Arsenal are shooting. It's good to see that they are getting the shots on goal, which they haven't been doing for much of the first half.
Yes, Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. 2 of the 4 added minutes have been played, so 2 of the 4 left to play in this first half, or just less than that now. as Arsenal try and end the first half with a flourish. Can they score here now? The penalty from Saka towards Martin Odegaard inside the box. Odegaard chips the ball back in, comes from Martinelli at the back post. 90 seconds to go until half time. What can they do here now? Gabriel for Rice. Good play from Declan Rice, the England international. Does well. And England, Declan Rice just mobbed up well for Arsenal today. Played well. Ben White, another England international, has done well. Bukayo Saka got the goal as well. Eddie Nketiah leading the line today. So, quartet of Englishmen in the Arsenal starting lineup. And they've all played a shift today. Played well. Nketiah, when he's out, who's lively up top, causing a few Fulham defensive problems, is Emma Martinelli into Declan Rice. Can he strike a goal? He can, but it's over the top there in the end from Declan Rice, and that's a poor effort from the England defensive midfielder, and couldn't keep his effort down in the end. But that was another good move from Arsenal, good bit of play, and Declan Rice just couldn't take it and fire it home. As we see Marco Silva and Mikel Arteta making some notes on the touchline. You can see one of the reporters for TV, Emma Saunders, sat just behind where Mikel Arteta is, just having a chat with probably some of her colleagues. One of the TV reporters is Emma Saunders. As the half-time whistle goes here at Craven Cottage, it's Fulham 1, Arsenal 1 at the break. Good start to the game for Arsenal, who's put the score through Bukayo Saka. Fulham then got back into the game and deservedly levelled through Raul Jimenez. Fulham have been the better side since that opening goal from Arsenal, and could be more than one, and could be more than drawing at this half-time interval. Before we go for the break, we'll just get the thoughts of Paul James on that brilliant first-half action, which Fulham should be leading.
Yeah, I actually agree with that, Ross. And Luke has just made a comment in the private chat here that we've got between us that Arsenal need a clinical finishers. Jesus and Nketiah just don't do it for him. I actually agree with him on this because there's a lack of clinical ability to put the ball in the net for Arsenal at the moment. Bukayo Saka, well, his goal was a relatively straightforward finish from the save from Bert Leno, and gets the ball into the net. But since then, like Eddie Nketiah, that has had chances, Martinelli, and of course towards the end of the first half, that attempt by Declan Rice was way out. I think they're lacking sort of a goal scorer that's going to get them 15, 20 goals a season, and I think that could be the difference between the league title and the top four for Arsenal. For the game itself, I think Fulham have dominated since the goal was scored for Arsenal, and they've got themselves back into it. They might well have taken the lead. They're looking pretty good right now, and Marco Silva should be very happy with that.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Just to tell people, the latest of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 0. Pape Matasol, the goal scorer, on having set by Giovanni Lo Celso, has gone off injured in the 32nd minute, replaced by Oliver Skipp. And for all of you who's been reading, he was consoled when he left the pitch, as when he went off, very good injury from him by the sounds of it. He was consoled by Youngmin's son, and Ange Postecoglou was Pape Matar as they're coming towards half time in that game, which is Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 0. We're going to take a break for about 15 minutes, but join us when we return for the second half action as Fulham take on Arsenal with the scoreline of Fulham 1, Arsenal 1 at the break. Join us shortly. Welcome back to the second half coverage of Fulham against Arsenal. We'll get the thoughts of Paul James. Again, just a recap of the first half and what he thinks both managers will need to do in the second half for the action. Just to tell you, at half time, it is now half time in the game between Tottenham and Bournemouth, where it is Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 0. In League One, I can tell you, yesterday, Fleetwood Town sacked manager Lee Johnson. That's the second sacking that Fleetwood have done this season. And today, I heard these rumours late last night, and I think it's now been officially confirmed by Fleetwood. Yes, it has. Fleetwood Town have announced that Charlie Adam, the former Liverpool player, and the academy coach at Burnley, Charlie Adam, as their new manager. Joining Charlie's part of his backroom staff is Maurice Ross, who joins as Adam's assistant coach, and first team coach is Ross Wallace, who Adam worked with at Burnley's academy as well. So good luck to Charlie Adam at Fleetwood. He's the new manager replacing Lee Johnson in his first game in charge. Is away at Shrewsbury Town on New Year's Day, so tomorrow afternoon. Now, just a quick question to Paul now. Paul, looking back on that first half, if I put you in the shoes of Mikel Arteta for a moment, what do you think he'd be saying to his players, and what do you think he needs to change in the second half?
Right. Well, I think he need. I wouldn't be surprised to see a substitution or two at half time. But I think Arsenal need to get back to what they were doing at the start of the game. Pressing Fulham, taking shots from in and around the penalty area. Not too much pretty play. It just needs to be more direct from Arsenal now to try to get themselves back in the lead. But they need to maybe not defend so deep against Fulham, but press further forward. It does look like a change is being made as well. Looks like Takahiro Tomiyasu is coming on.
Yes, I've just noticed that, Paul. But before we get to that and ask you questions on the Fulham side of things, let's just tell the trivia answer. Well, Menezes made nine career appearances in this game. That career, by the way, has been replaced by Takahiro Tomiyasu for Arsenal at half time. Well, Menezes had 9 career appearances against Arsenal in the Premier League before this game today. How many goals had he scored in those previous 9? The answer to that one is just the 1 goal. So that was your trivia answer. Thank you to the producer Paul Luke for letting us to give that trivia answer out. We appreciate that, Luke. Thank you very much. Tomiyasu now a left back in place of Jacob Kiwior as Fulham get ready to kick off second half. If I put in Marco Silva's shoes, what does Fulham need to change for the start of the second half?
Nothing. They're doing very, very well. As the game went on, they progressed at a much better level. They got themselves back into the game. Maybe perhaps be a little bit more clinical in front of goal, but this Fulham team are performing very, very well against, on paper, a much better Arsenal team. Right now, it's Fulham who are looking like the team that could go top of the table, not Arsenal.
Yes, as the second half is underway, we'll give you the 2 lineups shortly for the start of the second half. No changes for Fulham at the break. Is Martin Odegaard. What can Odegaard do here now? Is Ben White into Declan Rice. So let's chip the ball forward, looking towards Bukayo Saka. There is Anthony Robinson, who does well to shepherd the ball behind for a goal kick. Push the arms on the back of Saka, just getting a patch on the back there as we run through the teams. So Fulham lineup with Leno, Ingo, no changes to them. Is Castagna, Tosin, Batsy and Robinson at back 4. Polina and Kenny in the midfield. It will be in the number 10 alongside Nico Reed and Willian and Raul. And that's what else was everywhere in goal. 1 change for them. With White, Sneaber, Gabriel and now Tomiyasu, the left back. There's Odegaard, Rice, and Havertz in the midfield. Havertz moves on. Castanio does well there. Timothy Castagna, Saka, and Ketia, and Martinelli. As Declan Rice picks up the ball, will he line up a shot in? No. Chips the ball out wide to Kai Havertz on the side of the penalty. On the left hand side of Havertz, the shot just wide. And the referee, Josh Smith, is having to apologise there to Alex Iwobi, as he tried to get on the end of this ball and he knocked Alex Iwobi over, which allowed Declan Rice to go onto the ball, chipped to the back post for Havertz, who brought it down well on his knee, and then Martinelli, should I say that was, who curled a shot wide. Marco Silva having a word there with the fourth official, Tim Robinson, about that, along with Stuart Gray, his assistant. Marco Silva there saying Fulham should have been given a free kick for a foul by the referees. Here comes Robinson now for Fulham on this left hand side, whips the ball in towards the penalty. He's come to the back post while Jimenez is there. Jimenez into Alex Iwobi edge of the box. Can he strike a goal? He can, but also managed to defend well and clear the ball away. Arsenal, good start to them for the second half. The post loss on the second half start from Arsenal in a moment, but Fulham are just coming on possession at the moment now. Here's Tom Kearney. How wide it goes to Anthony Robinson. Good play this from Fulham. Kearney again. William drops it back to Basiley, birthday boy, 24 years of old. Years of age, should I say today. So happy birthday to him. I won't sing to him, because if I sing, our listeners will switch off. And we don't want that to happen. Here's Ben Leno. Now Polina. Kearney to Bassett. Now Tosin. Well, Fulham just playing it around on the back. We'll just break off as Fulham trying to get the ball forward, and they have done. And it's decovered over it on the right hand side. Can he move the ball in? He can towards Jimenez. Clear away. Comes to Castagna inside the box again. Goes down there, just got the elbows. Behind for a corner. But Paul, what have you made to Arsenal's start in the second half and Fulham's response to Arsenal's start of the second half?
Well, Fulham, not surprisingly, are carrying on doing what they're doing. They're trying to keep possession and create chances, and it really has been possession football by Fulham in for most of the first half and the start of the second half. Arsenal now, I don't know what they're going to do about it now, because they don't seem to have any answers at the moment to this. I think for Fulham now, it's just the final ball to create the chances that they need. Arsenal, well, they need to. Well, I don't know what to suggest. They're not at the moment. They're not. There's no urgency in this Arsenal team at the moment either. By the way,
absolutely not, Paul. As Tomiyasu gets the ball, trying to get a catcher on the left hand side. Can he get there? He can't. As Castagna cuts it out well for a throw in. Fulham's corner, which they had a few moments ago, was headed out, and Arsenal. That's where Arsenal broke, and Ketia had that chance to get behind on that left hand side, where it was cut out brilliantly by Timothy Castagna for a throw, which will be taken by Takehiro Tomiyasu. And it'd be interesting to see how this attack goes now for Arsenal, if they can get something from this. This comes to Saliba, about 25-30 yards out, rolls it to the left hand side of Fulham's left hand side, Arsenal's right, to Saka, into Ben White. Now Saliba again. Will he go to Arsenal's left hand side this time? No, he goes to the right and Ben White again. White, what can White do here with possession? Wonderful bit of play. Here's Saliba again. Across now to Gabriel. Tomiyasu now adopting that Zinchenko role and coming into the midfield. And every available opportunity. Aaron Ramsdale still on the bench. For also David Ray continuing, despite having to look like a bit of blurred vision in that first half. And look like he was seeing blurred lines. I'm not going to sing the song by Pharrell called Blurred Lines. Check it out on YouTube if you want to hear that song. You want to hear me singing it today. Ball looking, trying to get Odegaard in behind, but Robinson just well to intercept. Here comes Polina, who just sues out from Odegaard, but it's been fouled by Martin Odegaard, and Fulham have a free kick. Second half just underway at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham still lead by a goal to nil. We'll be on air around about 4:15 this afternoon, so I can bring you the conclusion of that game between Tottenham and Bournemouth, and so I can bring you up to date with the table as well, and remind you of the Premier League scores from Saturday as well. We'll remind you of those later as well. Here's Willian. What can Arsenal do if they can get back into the lead? Fulham have possession with Ben Lennox cleared away, left footed up towards Willian. Robinson challenging for it as well. Breaks for Kearney. Down the line he goes and he just keeps the ball in play. Robinson pushing Sliver under pressure, gets it back to Ray, who clears it away well. Good vision that time to find Tomiyasu with the ball. No pun intended. Here is Gabriel, here's Declan Rice. Rice, baby. Now here is Ben White. Back to Rice again, and now is Odegaard. Martin Odegaard. Cuts inside. Rice again. Ben White. How wide it goes. White with the cross. And just over the bar in the end there. Another trivia question coming up your way very shortly. See who gets the answer to this one correct. I'll give you the question now, and then in around about 10 minutes' time, we'll bring you the answer. And it's regarding the Arsenal manager, so we'll see if Paul knows this, because he's supposed to be our Arsenal correspondent. He may know this, he may not, so we'll ask Paul for his answer shortly. And Luke, you can get involved with your answer as well. Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, had 14 career appearances against Fulham, all in the Premier League. I want to know how many goals did he score against Fulham in those 14 appearances. The answer will be given on the 60th minute. Get your answers in now. I'll ask you if your answer in a minute. Pause is Martinelli. Can you get the ball in towards the penalty area? It has to go back to Gabriel and now on to Saliba. Also just coming forward. How wide it goes into Bukayo Saka. Saka cuts in field. Wonderful run from Bukayo Saka. Does really, really well. How wide it goes, but Arsenal give possession away as Di Cordova win the ball back. Finds Castagne as he turns away from Alves, who just puts it out of play for a throw in there, and that's a good bit of play from Fulham again. Luke, do you want to have a guess? Are you going to have a guess as well, Luke, of your answer? Paul is going 1, Luke is going 2. Well, I can tell you, one of you has got the answer spot on. But which one? You'll have to wait and find out, because I'm not going to give the answer out just yet, as here comes Fulham with possession. Here's Robinson to find Bassey, now Tosin. Good start to this second half, and the Paul, we've almost played 10 minutes of this second half. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. What's been your thoughts in the opening exchange of the second half? How have you seen this second half pan out so far?
Well, it's gone much the same as the first half, to be honest with you, Ross. Fulham just controlling the majority of the possession. They're the most positive out of the two teams right now. I think Mikel Arteta needs to make some changes, in my opinion, especially in the midfield. I think for the time being, Arsenal, there's not enough urgency there. I can see Martin Odegaard huffing and puffing and running, and even he's showing a great deal of frustration at the moment, which is usually not really indicative. It's very atypical behaviour of him, because usually he's quite calm. But Arsenal at the moment, as a whole, collectively, there's just not enough urgency.
Yes, I agree there, Paul. What do you think has been out of urgency from Arsenal? Do you think it's the lack of? Do you think it's due to the too many games that they've played over the Christmas period, Boxing Day, Thursday, and then today, or last weekend, Thursday, and then now today? Or do you think it's because of something else? And we'll break off for a moment as also on possession here. We'll get also on the moment as Fulham just win the ball back. So don't point, can everyone say it?
Well, I think it could be a combination of things. Yes, there is a lot of games played over Christmas. We all know how busy a period Christmas can be. But also there's the pressure as well of trying to get themselves top of the table again. A win today will get them there, but they're already a game behind, a game in front of Liverpool, I should say. So with Liverpool having that game in hand as well, the pressure is really telling on these Arsenal players. Maybe they are at the moment still a very young team, and the pressure could just be beginning to show on that on the Arsenal team right now.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Good. I agree with everything you've just said there as well. Also, trying to get the ball forward. Looking for Gabriel Martinelli on the left hand side from Gabriel, the centre back. But Martinelli couldn't take it in his stride. There is Mikel Arteta stood on the touchline with one of his backroom staff having a chat as we see Jorginho and Gabriel Jesus just warming up down on the touchline below us. Most goals by subs this season in the Premier League. Brighton with 12, and it's Arsenal and Wolves with 8. Liverpool have got 7, although the badge shows Newcastle on the graphic there. I suppose it was a penalty looking for Raul Jimenez. He just sent it over the top there by Gabriel. Behind for a corner. Good pressure from this from Fulham. Can they turn this pressure into the opening goal of the second half? We still remain 0-0 in the second half. Still 1-1 on the score sheet. So the second half, been no goals in the second half. All the goals in this game coming in the first half. After Arsenal in the lead, Raul Jimenez pegged them back. It was Saka who Arsenal in the lead. Jimenez pegged Arsenal back as Willian stood across there again to take this corner. Decode Reed's in there, still playing in Tosin. But Arsenal just managed to clear away Gabriel Martinez chasing with Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi just absolutely fantastic to get the ball back for Fulham there. And now Fulham on the attack again. Willian into Kearney. Tom Kearney coming forward. Wonderful bit of play. How wide it goes to Willian, who was onside. Delivers a ball in looking for the run of Decode Reed, who's in there behind for another corner. And this is good pressure from Fulham. 2 corners in quick succession for them. And Fulham have really got their tails up for this one, like Paul mentioned earlier on. Fulham could really put a statement down here if they can beat Arsenal in this game, which so far their performance deserves. Arsenal have been second best all game, even when they were leading 1-0. They didn't really deserve to be leading. They took it against the winner play. Fulham have been on top most of this for the entirety of this game. Willian to take the corner then. Andrew Barnes in there. So too Decode over Castagna. Jimenez in there too. Please in there. Breaks around there. And Decode over has scored! Fulham are back into lead! And it's a deserved lead as well! Bobby Decode over Reed scores. Fulham were appealing for a penalty. Round ball, it brought to Decode over Reed, who smashed the ball into the roof of the net. And Fulham take the lead. It's 2-1 against Arsenal. Yes. Bounding around inside the penalty area there, and Decode over Reed. Thus, Fulham into the lead. It's 2-1. Goes round balls inside there. Tomiyasu. Will they come in? Bush saying that I don't think he did. But Decode over Reed scored, and Fulham are now leading 2-1, Paul.
Well, it's deserved, isn't it? I mean, it's been coming. The corner comes in here. There's a little bit of fortune to it in the sense that it rebounds off Takahiro Tomiyasu. But Gabriel was slow to react to that. And, of course, Decordova Reed was not. He got there right away and drilled it into the roof of the net. But to be honest with you, no, I don't see it. Well, Tomiyasu, it hits Tomiyasu's hand, but it's drilled in by I don't see anything wrong with that goal. Not for me. And to be honest with you, it's fully deserved. And for Arsenal, well, they're going to look at this. They played 62 games against Fulham in the entire history of the competition between the two teams, and they've only won 8 of them. They haven't won a game against Arsenal since 2012, and you can see the look of frustration on Mikel Arteta's face, and I'm not entirely surprised. This is very poor from Arsenal.
Yes, and thank you to Joe Smoke, who says, great commentary, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed it. The answer to the trivia question, which I posed a few moments ago, well, about 9 minutes ago, was Mikel Arteta had played 14 career appearances against Fulham, all in the Premier League. How many goals in those 14 appearances did he get? I'll tell you in a moment. He's also trying to get an immediate response, but the can't get his can't get on end of that through ball there from Declan Rice and cleared away. I can tell you that it was just the one goal that Mikel Arteta scored, so congratulations to my co-commentator Paul James, who gets that one correctly. Paul, for a bonus point, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. Which team was he playing for when he scored?
I think it might. Sorry, I think it might have been Everton.
You are correct, Paul. It was Everton. It was a penalty in Everton's 2-0 win in April 2010.
Had my mic
So
on mute there for a second.
That's a good. Yeah, but good answer there, Paul. It was Everton, and well done for getting that trivia question correct on those 2 occasions there, Paul.
Thank
Beating
you.
Luca there so far.
Oh well.
We'll have another trivia question to give you very shortly, and they'll be about an Arsenal player as well. So, Paul, will you be the Arsenal correspondent? You should get this one. Hopefully, you get this one correct.
Yeah, never say should. I don't know. I'm just a
Hopefully
correspondent. I don't
you
know
will.
everything.
Hopefully, you will do, Paul. Hopefully, you will do.
I'll give it my best shot.
We'll give you that in a moment. So, we'll give you that trivia question again in a minute. Is this Arsenal attack great after Arsenal attack is then rolling towards Saka on the back post? Mikael Saka! Oh my word! Saka at the back post! Really should be doing better there, Paul. The ball came in from the left hand side from Gabriel Martinelli, and it came to him at the back post off the head of Robinson, and you skied it. He needs to get it over there. He got too much up over this ball and couldn't keep his effort down, and he skied it into the crowd there, and that's the poor effort from Mikael Saka, and he really should be doing better there.
Yeah, when chances are at a premium like that, you've got to take that. That miss is shocking. For somebody of Bukayo Saka's quality and talent that he obviously possesses, that is a very, very poor finish.
Yes, as Fulham are coming forward again, crossing to the box by Aerobic, headed away, as we're looking to try and get Jimenez on the end of that cross. Good bit of play this. Can Arsenal get back into the lead? Get back into this game. Can Fulham extend their lead, should I say, against Arsenal? Or can Arsenal get back into this game as Willian intercepts brilliantly? Willian coming forward. It's a penalty. Willian still going. Goes one way, then the other. But Willian challenged by Gabriel to get the ball back. Odegaard is fouled there by Willian in his free kick to Arsenal. Now, this question is about another Arsenal player, Paul, and is about the goal scorer today, Bukayo Saka.
Okay. Sorry, I can't hear you, Ross. I'm sorry.
He has scored 48 goals. He's got 48 assists for Arsenal in his entire Arsenal career. And he's got 11 this season overall. What I want to know is how many in the Premier League he has got in total.
How many assists for Arsenal in the Premier League?
Yes, not the entire 48, because I've just given you that answer, but how many in the Premier League has he got for Arsenal? Luke, you can have a guess as well, but in the Premier League only, I'm wanting.
Do you want the answer now, or do you want me to put it in the private chat?
Put it in the private chat, so Luke can put his in, and then I'll give you the answer at with 15 minutes to go, so in 10 minutes' time, the answer will be given. Well, I've just seen those answers come in, and I can tell you one of you have got the answer spot on. There's also win a free kick, Martin Odegaard on the edge of the penalty area, standing over this one. Gabriel was stood talking to Martin Odegaard, who he now stands near just a couple of yards away from the yards in front of the Fulham wall. Just Gabriel, along with a couple of Arsenal players there. Eddie Nketiah is the other one. Looks like Kai Havertz. He's not Kai Havertz, it looks like it's Gabriel Martinelli is the other. As Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice stand over this. Tommy Asu to the left, Ben White to the right of them. Martin Odegaard goes for goal and just over the crossbar in the end there. And that's a poor free kick from Martin Odegaard's perspective. And Arsenal look like they're going to be making a double substitution with Andrew Trossard. And it looks as though it's Gabriel Jesus who will be about to come on. I'm wondering whether this will be for Havertz. No, it's Gabriel Martinelli who has gone off. He's one of the changes that's gone off. And Ben White is the other one. So it's Ben White for Jesus, which I'm not really surprised at. With Arsenal now, looks like they're going to play 3 at the back, Paul. And the other one is Gabriel Martinelli going off for Trossard to come on for him there. So it looks as though Arsenal going to a 3-4-3 formation.
Not surprised to see this at all, Ross, to be honest. I think changes need to be made. They need to take a more offensive line. They've been disappointing today. That free kick from Martin Odegaard really just basically surmised Arsenal's entire performance in this game so far. So Mikel Arteta looking to bring on some changes, maybe getting Arsenal back into this game. Bit of creativity and a bit of goal scoring. So let's see what this does.
Yes, and I'm wondering, I would have thought Havertz might have gone off for Trossard rather than Martinelli. Martinelli's been one of their best outlets this season for me.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You could have picked Havertz if you want, but bringing on Gabriel Jesus as well, you're gonna end up top heavy in the front line, I suppose. I can see the logic behind it, but I agree with you. I think Martinelli, out of all of Arsenal's players today, has been one of the better players. Really out of a bad bunch, to be honest.
Yes, it looks like now for Arsenal, it looks as though we've got Raya in goal, Tomiyasu, Saliba and Gabriel as a back 3. Then it looks like we've got Saka right, Trossard wide left, Odegaard and Rice in the middle, Havertz just playing behind Nketiah and Jesus now, it looks like, for Arsenal, and Odegaard maybe moving into that role behind the front 2 as well. So it'll be interesting changing shape and formation for Arsenal as well, Paul, which I've found.
Yeah, I think so. You've got to try something different at this point. Arsenal are behind and they're being outplayed at the moment by Fulham, so they have to change something up and try something different.
Yes, and here comes Fulham to try and get an extended lead with Willian now on this left-hand side. Back to Tom Kearney. What can Kearney do here with possession? He drops the ball back into Bassey. Drops it all the way back there into the path of Ben Leno. Leno get the ball forward. What can he do here with possession? He wins. He gives the ball away, but bless me as Turson just clears it out of play for a throw-in. Arsenal will look to take the throw-in with Trossard. He goes down the line to Jesus, back to Trossard, back to Jesus. And Jimenez wins the ball back into Iwobi. Now Kearney. Back he goes to Turson. How wide it goes then to Castagna. Castagna will look forward, will he? He cuts in field. And then goes back to Ben Leno, who will play the ball right-footed, straight down the field, looking to the line side for Jimenez, but he lets it bounce over his head to decode over Reed. Back he goes to Castagna, into Polina, who plays it over the top, looking for Alex Iwobi to chase. He's got Saliba there with him. Iwobi does well to get the ball back into Raul Jimenez. Good run from Raul Jimenez, still going Raul Jimenez, edge of the box, still going, breaks for Tom Kearney. Kearney strikes a goal! Wonderful save! Comes to decode over Reed, lets it go behind. It will be a corner to... Will it? Oh no. The flag's on the front. It will be a corner, I think. Or will it? Just wait to see whether this is given as a corner. You see, this goes down if under the challenge of Tomiyasu, who stays down. Strike coming in, saved by David Raya. No corner given as Fulham about to make a change with Andres Pereira about to come on now for Fulham. And he replaces Alex Iwobi. Are you surprised by this change, Paul, that with Iwobi coming off Andres Pereira, or have you, or is it one that you probably would be expecting?
No, I mean we've got 20 minutes to go now. He's just probably just looking to rotate some of his players right now, as we're sort of in the last sort of third of the game, and you know it's busy time over Christmas and New Year. So with the FA Cup games coming up, it's probably a smart move by Marco Silva.
Yes, and Fulham lead by 2 goals to 1 against Arsenal. Latest at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is still Tottenham 1, Bournemouth 0, 68 minutes on the clock down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So they're just about a couple of so minutes behind us here on in our game, which has been played at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Here is Takiro Tomiyasu into the path of Bukayo Saka. Saka does really, really well down this right hand side. What can he do with possession? He plays into Declan Rice. Rice still going. Look, goes one way, then the other. Goes back into Saliba. Now Gabriel. How wide it goes well. Crossed in towards the penalty area from Havertz. Ed Scopen, Fulham managed to clear. And that's a brilliant play into Andres Pereira. First touch of the ball for him. Jimenez with a wonderful ball over the top looking for the winner of Willian, who brings it down under his spell brilliantly. Drops it into Robinson's path. Robinson will look to try and switch the play, will he? He keeps hold of the ball and turns away from 1 and 2. And still going down the left-hand side. Keeps the ball in up against Saka. Still going Anthony Robinson. Good footwork from him. Can he get the ball in? He can't. And he runs down to play for a goal kick. Good initial play there from Anthony Robinson down the left-hand side. But as Arsenal win a goal kick and have taken it quickly. They wanted to keep this ball moving. Coming up towards the final 15 minutes or so of this game, what do Arsenal need to do, Paul, to get back into it?
Well, they need to be a bit more urgent in what they're doing. They just look bereft of ideas right now. And at the moment, there's just a lack of a creative brain in there right now to create any kind of opportunities, because at the moment they just look, I mean, as the rain comes tumbling down now, they just look absolutely void of ideas. And I was looking at the West Ham performance, which I also felt was generally a very poor performance. I don't think this has been any better, and in some cases worse. It's just a poor overall performance all round, and you can see Martin Odegaard there. He's on just looking for options available, and there's just nobody. There's no movement. There's nothing at the moment that I can say. I don't see Arsenal getting back into this game at the moment. Something needs to change. Somebody needs to put. They need to do. They need to do. They need to. They need to move a bit. They need to create space. They need to get into the penalty area. They need to attack the Fulham defence a little bit. It's very standoffish at the moment by Arsenal.
Yes, Willian down the line, he goes brilliantly to the path of Tom Kearney. Kearney does absolutely fantastic there, but then loses out. Now Arsenal get the ball back. Declan Rice has possession. Across to Gabriel. Arsenal level on points with Man City with this result. 2 behind Liverpool and Aston Villa. Man City into 3rd. We've got a game in hand over Arsenal, so they could get above. They could extend their lead to 3 points above Arsenal if they win the game in hand. Liverpool got a game in hand. You can hear their game in hand tomorrow on the channel with Paul James and Luke Turton with Liverpool against Newcastle United. That one should be a good game. 7:55 on air for that one. Make sure you join us up in action that day there. 7:55 tomorrow for Liverpool against Newcastle United. Here's Saka for Arsenal. Tomiyasu. Saliba. Does well. To Gabriel. Saliba again. Arsenal probing. They can't seem to get the final ball. Correctly. Not being able to stick up with Nketiah or Jesus, since Jesus is coming in. But Paul Riley says the rain teeming down. It's still teeming down. It's even coming off of the roof of some of the stands here as well, which is not going to be helping as we Just look at an aerial shot of one of the stands there. Arsenal getting ready to make another change here now. Kai Havertz has gone off. Reece Nelson, the player, comes on for Kai Havertz. You surprised by that one, Paul?
Yes and no. Like I said, time is now 15 minutes left. They need to be direct, and they need to start creating chances because they've had nothing really in this second half. So whilst that does mean they are top heavy up front, I think they've got to try something there at this point because it's getting pretty desperate, if I'm being honest.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. The answer to the trivia question is coming up shortly, but first we can tell you there's been a goal in the Premier League. 72 minutes on the clock, and it's Tottenham 2, Bournemouth 0. Scorer Young-min Son with the Son Young-min with the goal there for Tottenham. The answer to the trivia question: Bukayo Saka's netted has supplied 48 goals, so 48 assists for Arsenal. There's 11 in for Arsenal this season. How many has he got in the Premier League? I can tell you the answer to the question. Once again, congratulations, Paul. He's got 32 assists in the Premier League, 6 of those this season.
That was actually a guess. I wasn't sure of the answer. I had an idea it might have been 32, but I wasn't 100% sure, so it was more of a guess, really.
Yeah, and a good guess as well there, Paul. As here comes Arsenal again, it was the penalty area, cleared away this time. What can Arsenal do here with the ball? Can Arsenal score his? Odegaard at the edge of the box. How wide it goes to Bukayo Saka. Down the line is Takiro Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu does well. What can Tomiyasu do down the line? It goes to Declan Rice. Rice does well. Always up the play. Back it goes. And now Saka to Odegaard. Gabriel. Saliba. Here is Declan Rice. Rice, baby. Ball towards the penalty area. Cleared away behind for a corner to Arsenal off the end of Timothy Castagna. Let's go play again there.
Let's see if Arsenal can produce something now from this corner.
Yeah, the corners are being paused. Fulham about to make a double switch here now. Harry Wilson coming on. This will be his 100th appearance for Fulham. Congratulations to him, and deserves this. Diop also coming on is Willian and De Cordova-Reid coming off. What have you made to those changes?
Well, I mean, it's interesting that they're making them at the point of a corner, but I think again, I think it's just a question of rotation, isn't it? We've got 12 minutes to go. They need to rest some of these players. It's like I said, it's been a busy period, so I'm not surprised. I'm just rather surprised that they're doing it while defending a corner. It's not usually something that's done, is it?
No, it's not. As Arsenal managed to clear the corner ball back in to the penalty area, cleared away again, and that is something which they need to do about. And Diop is a centre back by trade, so I think Fulham have adopted a back five now with Castagna and Robinson as the wing backs. Diop going into the back line, Paul, and Wilson playing on the right, on the left with Andres Pereira on the right. Wilson on the right, Pereira on the left. Jimenez is the lone striker now. It looks like they've gone to a 5-2-3 formation now for Fulham, which would work quite well with Andres Pereira moving on to the left, Wilson on to the right, Jimenez through the middle, Kearney and Polina as the two defensive midfielders. And then your back five of Castagna, Tosin, Diop, Bassett and Robinson.
Yeah, I think I mean the way Arsenal delivering the crosses and that last corner was very poor. I don't think Fulham have too much to worry about at the moment.
No, they don't. And here comes Arsenal again. Can they try and create something? Try and do something a little bit different, shall we say? That's what Arsenal need to do. They need to do something a bit different because they've not really done much. As Saka into the penalty. Bukayo Saka's shot is blocked. Brilliant defensive play from Fulham again. Kearney intercepts there. There's a free kick to Fulham. Far by Saka in the penalty area. On Yao Polino as he was trying to get up and away. Saka kicked out of him. Free kick to Fulham. And time for one final trivia question from for this game, and see if you two know the answer to this one as well. In 9 previous managerial meetings against Arsenal, how many wins has Marco Silva got? Put your answer in the private chat and we'll give you the answer on the 85th minute. 9 previous managerial meetings against Arsenal, how many wins has he got? Marco Silva, that is. Free kick to Fulham. Bye-bye Takehiro Tomiyasu.
Yeah, I'm not sure the answer to that one, Ross. I am not sure. I don't know a lot about Marco Silva, I have to say.
He faced us as Olympiacos head coach in 2015-16 Champions League group stages. With him as well, he won away 3-2 and lost at home 3-0 against Arsenal. And just whips the free kick in for Fulham, and he's headed away, but only as far as Robinson. Back out wide, Travis Pereira finishes it down on his chest well. Down the line he goes looking for Basil. Can put Tomiyasu with a bit of pressure, and he does well. Basil to get the ball back, but then Arsenal have given the ball away. Robinson nips it back in. Melman is the penalty and finishes it down with a spell. Jimenez, can he get the shot in? He can't, blocked. Gabriel behind for a corner. You've gone till the 87th minute, Paul, to put your answer, and I'll give the answer out then.
Yeah, I think I'm going to back out of this one, Ross. I honestly have no idea.
And Paul, if you want to just put your play of the match into our producer to put into the section, and I'll ask you to announce it on the 89th minute.
Yes, I already have an idea about who the player of the match is going to be, I think.
Yes, there's been some good players for Fulham today. Not many for Arsenal. So I can only see probably a Fulham player winning it, Paul, in my opinion.
Oh, I couldn't give it to any of the Arsenal players. I couldn't justify it.
Yes, here comes Arsenal, though, with possession. Saliba gives the ball into Jesus, who had to come and drop deep for the ball. Not like him, having to come and drop deep for the ball and have to come back inside his own half to collect it. Here's Andres Pereira. Down the line he goes, and a brilliant one from Tom Kenny, who's onside. Kenny, he's got Jimenez waiting in the middle. Kenny tries to get the ball across. Jesus back there, defending. Fantastic work from Gabriel Jesus. Down near his own corner flag, off of Tom Kenny. Keeps the ball in and he runs into the path of David Rayo. Can get the ball in and bowl the ball out. What can he do here now with possession? Here comes Declan Rice. Up over halfway now from Arsenal. Martin Odegaard. Can he attack? He can. Out wide to Saka. What can Saka do here now? Robinson intercepts and he's out for a throw-in. Good play this. Tomiyasu takes a throw-in down the line. Odegaard is there. Up against Robinson, and Robinson does well to hold him off. And then he back heels it in towards Saka's path, and he goes behind for a goal kick to Fulham. And this, Paul, is why Arsenal have not been very good. As we see the third goal go in for Tottenham. It's Tottenham 3, Bournemouth 0. Goal scorer Richarlison, set up by Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, again, they've got the ball down by the corner flag. Odegaard is trying to create the ball, but it's the passing, the link-up play. It's just not there for Arsenal. It's just not been their day today. And Mikel Arteta has 2 performances that have been, in my opinion, very poor, back-to-back now. And it doesn't get any easier for Arsenal. They've got an FA Cup tie against Liverpool in the new year, and they do have Liverpool in the league in February as well. So it's a tough month coming up, as January usually is in the football league calendar anyway.
Yeah, free kick to Fulham coming here, then foul in the end by William Saliba on Harry Wilson. As Harry Wilson's clean through here. Fulham are wanting a red card for Saliba. Only a yellow one's been provided, and that's because of the covering defensive play from Gabriel and David Raya. Criticism from the referee, Smith Jones, produced the yellow card. It's a free kick in a dangerous position, though.
They need to stop trying to get players sent off. I'm sick of seeing this. Getting right in the referee's face, trying to get him sent off. He wasn't even the last man. And this is, in my opinion, really, really poor sportsmanship. And if I was the referee and they got in my face like that, I'd be waving yellow cards at the three of them.
Andres Pereira standing over this free kick. Wilson 2. I'd be the same, Paul, to be honest. Andres Pereira and Wilson standing over this is Andres Pereira to go. It's it! Oh, off the crossbar! It's back in. Gabriel is away this time. Andres Pereira back in. Polina keeps the ball alive. Fulham gets it back in there. Here's Wilson. Back he goes to the goalkeeper, Leno, who's not really had much to do in this game, apart from putting the ball out back in there once. Other than that, it's been a comfortable afternoon for him.
Yeah, he's not had a great deal to do all afternoon. I think, to be honest with you, it's that sort of bit of quality that you see. That one there, just from that free kick there from Pereira. David Raya beating all ends up there. Just beating all ends up.
And just the answer to the final trivia question of the afternoon, Marco Silva, in 9 previous managerial meetings against Arsenal, has won 3 matches. In the 9 managerial meetings against Arsenal, 1 draw and 5 defeats as well. There's the last of the trivia questions today. Hopefully you've enjoyed those trivia questions being set here to give some of you guys the chance to get involved. As is Andres Pereira for Fulham. He could seal it here now if he can take it all the way. Pereira with the crossfield pass. Jimenez, can he keep the ball in? He can. Will he go to the corner? He's got about 2 minutes, less than 9 seconds and just stoppage time to go. Tom Kearney does well there. Kearney into the path of Polina. Back he goes to Tosin. Now into the path of Bassett. Out wide to Robinson. Down the line he goes. Andres Pereira is there again. Bassett again. Pereira again. Down the line from Bassett again. Looking for Robinson, who's in behind Saka. Wonderful play. Robinson with the ball across. Gabriel gets away. Only as far as around the minutes. Leslie went out for a throw-in. One thing I hear, Paul, which I know you heard that thing with the referees being crowded around by players, but one thing I hate is when opposition players or your own team players, like Jimenez did there, let the ball go out to play for a throw-in instead of keeping the ball in to keep the pressure on. Because when they let the ball down for a throw-in, it gives the opposition a chance to get back in shape to stop any attack. Where if you keep the ball in play, keeps the opposition guessing all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Fulham at this point, though, Ross, it's like we're almost approaching now the 90th minute. It's game management time for Fulham now, I think, just to sort of see this out. This is a big day for Fulham Football Club. They don't win against Arsenal very, very often. Like I said, only 8 wins in the 62 meetings, and the first since 2012 if they can hang on. So this is a big day for Fulham to get the victory here.
Yes, 5 minutes at a time here at the Cottage. Fulham lead 2-1 against Arsenal. Here's Bassett coming away with possession now. Down the line he goes from Bassett. Good bit of play. He's brought down there. Free kick. No given. Play continues into 5 minutes of stoppage time. Bournemouth have a goal back at Tottenham. 3-1 there now. Alex Scott with the goal and 84 minutes set up by Marcus Tavernier. Declan Rice for Arsenal in our featured game. Out wide to Bukayo Saka. Into the penalty area goes from Saka, and he's saved well by Bernd Leno. and that's comfortable in the end for the former Arsenal goalkeeper, who's in net today for Fulham, who lead by 2-1. Paul, it's the time for you now, for me to ask you to give us the player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. Paul, who have you gone for?
Bobby Decordova-Reid. He's been outstanding in midfield today. He also has the goal, but he's been absolutely outstanding all the way through the game, and partly involved in the equaliser as well. So he's done a really great job today and fully deserves the player of the match. So the player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services, goes to Fulham's number 14, Bobby Decordova-Reid.
Yes, as Raul Jimenez is booked for kicking the ball away. Looks like maybe some substitutions coming up here. Is it? Yes, and Fulham are making a change. Harrison Reed, wearing number 6, comes on for Fulham in their final change of the game. And going off is Tom Kenny, the captain, who has done a really good job today, played really, really well, in my opinion, Paul, and has looked solid in that midfield today for Fulham. Tom Kenny, a good change from there. See Harrison Reed come on in his place as confirmation there of Raul Jimenez's booking in. What have you made to Tom Kenny's performance today, Paul?
Oh, he's done very, very well. He's been effective all the way through the game. He really has done what you might call a captain's job today. Really helped control the midfield, and he's led by example. I think Marco Silva will be very happy with his captain's performance today.
Yes, here's Saliba for Arsenal. Can Arsenal get a late equaliser here, which is what their performance doesn't deserve? Here is Arsenal now with Odegaard whips the ball in, to go up there. Nelson's in there, cleared away by Fulham. Edge back in, Robinson clears the ball away. Andres Pereira's there. Back to Robinson, who gets there just ahead of Saka. Who breaks for Tommy Asu. Arsenal's attack not finished yet. Reece Nelson. Gabriel Jesus. Wonderful challenge there from Palhinha. And Palhinha was into trouble. Arsenal still coming. Trossard. Saka now. Wonderful run from Bukayo Saka. He goes on the outside, let it go in. Will he? No, down for a corner. Arsenal have a corner. Bukayo Saka to take it. Will David Ray get a signal from the bench so that he can come forward for this one? Not at this moment in time. Saka to take. Whips the ball in. Heads go up. And he's headed away. Comes back out to Bukayo Saka for another corner. Will this time David Ray come forward? No, David Ray still stays back. Arsenal still letting their goalkeeper come forward for this corner. Saka again to take it. Near side, whipped in. Heads go up, away by Fulham. Breaks for Odegaard. Now Saka. Saliba. Odegaard again. Back he goes to Trossard. Deep cross in. It's Paul behind for a goal kicking with about 20 seconds left to play, Paul. Fulham have done a really professional job on Arsenal this afternoon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I can sort of see why they didn't want David Raya to go up there, because it's not the players in the box that's the issue here. It's the deliveries into the box. And to be honest with you, they've been poor all afternoon. And at this point now, I mean, Arsenal, they've put a bit of pressure on in the last couple of minutes, but it's too little, too late. I mean, that final ball there by Trossard was, I'm gonna use a strong phrase here. It was an abomination.
Yes, as Marco Silva there just has a word with official Tim Robinson, as the game is still going to be continued. Goal kick for Fulham to be taken by Ben Leno has just been booked for time wasting there by Josh Smith. Leno clears it long, downfield. Play still going on. Can Arsenal get a last minute equaliser? Fulham doing everything they can to keep their lead intact. Here's Jimenez who wins his side of throwing. Does well there, Raul Jimenez, the former Wolves striker. Will the whistle go? The whistle's not gone yet. Some of the Fulham backroom team, Lewis Belmonte, Stuart Gray, along with Marco Silvano Ward, with the fourth official Tim Robinson, asking how long will this game go on? No, the answer is not long. The full-time whistle is over. The game is done. Fulham have beaten Arsenal by 2-1. Arsenal's performance has been below par today. It was below par against West Ham United. We've been below par again today. And Fulham deservedly 2-1 winners against Arsenal. And they really should have had more Fulham this afternoon. What a game of football we've had. It all started in the first half when Bukayo Saka scored after 5 minutes to give Arsenal a 1-goal lead. It was then turned around when Raul Jimenez equalised on 29 minutes. And then on the hour mark, Bobby Di Cordova-Reid gives Fulham all 3 points in the game at Craven Cottage. And Paul James, Arsenal's bad Christmas period, over the Christmas period, today and the previous game against West Ham, has not gone very well. It's all started so badly with a 1-1 draw with Liverpool, but then back-to-back defeats for Arsenal, and which has been very, very poor. They've now back-to-back defeats in the league in the season since November when they lost to West Ham in the Carabao Cup, and then lost to Newcastle in the league the game after. Back-to-back defeats in the league this time around against West Ham, and then again today. And Paul, Fulham really did deserve it.
Yeah, they thoroughly deserved it. Congratulations to them. First victory over Arsenal since 2012. To be honest with you, Arsenal can have no complaints in either of the last 2 games, particularly this one. I actually think they were worse in a lot of ways in this one than they were against West Ham. Over the Christmas period, if you're challenging for the title, you need to maximise those points on those games. 9 points up for grabs over this period, and Arsenal come away with just 1. With Liverpool's game tomorrow against Newcastle, an informed Liverpool team, it could mean that Arsenal fall further behind in the title race.
Yes, into 8 minutes of stoppage time in the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Tottenham still lead Bournemouth by 3-1. We're waiting for that result to come in for us. We'll bring you that result as soon as it does, and we'll bring you the tables once that comes into us as well. While we wait for those results to come in, let me just ask you then, Paul. I'm going to put you in the shoes now of Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta, Paul. After that performance, what do you think he'd be feeling right now? What do you think he'd be saying to his players when he gets them in the dressing room?
Well, I'm hoping he gives them a good tirade, because, I mean, that performance was shocking. It was absolutely dreadful, almost from beginning to end. They took an early goal. They got the early lead after 5 minutes, and they should have capitalised on that. They should have been pressing Fulham. They should have been not letting Fulham get back into this game and maybe adding another goal before half-time to solidify their lead. Instead of that, they back off, and Fulham come back into the game and begin to dominate much of the game after that. It was just a general all-round poor performance, and Mikel Arteta, I don't know, like he's got to be furious with that. And you could tell by, if you look at his face during the time the camera angle caught his face, he didn't look pleased, did he?
No, he didn't look pleased at all. Every time the camera panned to him, Paul, like Riley said, he looked annoyed, he looked angry at his team. He looked like the players weren't following the instructions they gave him.
No, well, I don't know in terms of how this all went down. I know that there is going to be some Arsenal fans that will be livid at Mikel Arteta. I think they've got to be livid with the players on the pitch. They didn't perform today. They didn't perform. There was not enough urgency, and this time of the year, you need to be switched on. This is in terms of chasing the title. This period and Easter time are the two key areas of the season where you need to be picking up points.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. Just going to check on our friend and colleague Mike Orneman. He see what he's had to say regarding this game. He's not really said much
Can't imagine him
regarding.
being very pleased.
He's not put anything out about the Arsenal game today. After the West Ham game, though, Paul, he did put out saying this has been this was hard to watch, not good enough from a single Arsenal player. And I think those sentiments from the West Ham game will probably follow the trade into this game today as well.
Yeah, I think so. I just think it was a generally all-round poor performance from a group of players who are very, very talented and have got tremendous ability, and they're better than that. And it was just dreadful today, in my opinion.
Yes, a message. Nicholas did say. Our good friend Nicholas has put a message out on Facebook. He says 2023 hasn't been the best of years for him, but he said, but some good things did happen. He's becoming more productive in things where he works. He says he did his own commentary on the Women's World Cup, and he started a Football Presenters Academy and started meeting up with people more often. He says he has big plans for 2024. He's going to make sure that that it's the year that they all work. He's going to improve his social life, network with more people, and just explore life. He says, let's make it happen, people. And Nicholas says, which like myself, Paul, and everyone here with the commentary says as well, Happy New Year to all. That's from our very own Nicholas Jones there on Facebook this afternoon. So good to see things are going to be improving for Nicholas.
Yeah,
Very sure.
I hope so, and Happy New Year to Nicholas. We did get the opportunity to meet up when I visited England in October. We met up in Reading and had a coffee and a chat. So I'm glad to hear Nicholas is improving and doing well.
Yes, I've not had the privilege to meet Nicholas yet, but when we always seem to have a good chat when we always speak with each other. Fulham beat also 2-1 Bournemouth have a late corner in their game against Tottenham, still trail by 3-1 in that game, waiting for the full time
Mike's
whistle
commented in the group chat, by the way.
to go. We'll see what Mike says we've got our own group chat over on WhatsApp. Let's see what Mike is going to say regarding the Arsenal performance, and if it's clean, I will read it out to you this afternoon. He says, well, that was another shambles again. Was awful. We showed a bit more fight and urgency and determination after the defeat to West Ham, but again we looked well below par, and that's what me and you've been saying as well, Paul. Haven't we?
Yeah, and he's right. He's absolutely right. It was a shocking performance by Arsenal, in my opinion.
It was very, very poor indeed for Arsenal. Not a good watch if you're an Arsenal fan, and quite rightly, Mike has summed it up there, Paul. We probably what all the other Arsenal fans around the world listening to us or watching the game are feeling right now.
Yeah, I suspect there's a lot of disappointment, especially seeing as though Arsenal, leading up to the Christmas period, looked really the best team in the league, in my opinion. And then for the Christmas period to go like this, I think is a major disappointment, and really is going to put them behind the 8 ball if Liverpool win, because then they'll be 5 points off the summit. Then will Arsenal.
Yes, and what I will say, I've just seen this in our first at Christmas, fourth on New Year's Eve. Arsenal lose again as mid-season collapse continues, and they seem to do it every season. They always have a mid-season collapse around about Christmas, New Year, Arsenal, and they have done for the past couple of seasons. And this one is no different. Just Bournemouth thought they got a goal back, but it was offside in their header in the back post from Scott again, who'd already scored once this afternoon. Thought he made it 3-2, but as the ball came in, that was offside. Just getting pictures through here on our monitors as well, closing stages of that Tottenham 3 Bournemouth 1 game. And Donny Iriola trying to give out some including instructions to his Bournemouth players but time is almost up for them into the 100th minute of 8 added on. And that game is almost over with Tottenham leading Bournemouth by 3-1. Just waiting, I think they're just waiting to double. They are checking that goal for offside. I can tell you, looked offside to me. They're just checking that goal now to see whether it was offside. VAR getting involved with late controversy in that game. And then we'll wait to see if it gets given. Bournemouth may have got a late goal here. They're still checking it on VAR, I can tell you. Going into the 101st minute of the game. And it's whether it is offside, and the offside is confirmed by VAR. Still 3-1 to Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as the ball is played forward by the Tottenham goalkeeper. Closing stages of this game. No commentary from myself, Paul. I'll just keep you updated if there's any major incidents happen like that offside goal there. Bournemouth win a free kick on halfway, foul by Young-Min Son on Semenyo.
Oh dear, Mike Hardiman, and Barry's just chirped in with his comments to Mike.
I've just seen that there from Barry. Barry's our very own Fulham fan, one of the people behind the scenes who help out as the full-time whistle has gone to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham beat Bournemouth by 3-0. So happy New Year to Tottenham fans. Tottenham win. Arsenal lose. What an happy New Year it is being for them. For Tottenham fans, with Arsenal losing today, with them winning as well. So let's see what happens in the second half of the season, which all start on New Year's Day with the Liverpool against Newcastle game, which will bring to you on the channel tomorrow from around about 7:55 in the evening. Join Paul James and Luke Turton, your commentary team, for that one as we see if Liverpool can go back top of the main top of the Premier League summit, which I'm sure they will after Arsenal's result today with Aston Villa, their closest rivals. It depends how Liverpool get on, whether they remain top at the end of the week. And on New Year's Day, whether they remain top on New Year's Day. We'll bring you the full table shortly, and we'll remind you of the classified check of the results from tomorrow, for the weekend shortly as well. But Mike is not. I can tell you guys, if you're not, be grateful you're not in our group chat, because Mike is not an happy bunny right now, and Barry winding him up as well, being a Fulham fan. He's probably not the side people want to see. I don't think he'll get as bad as JB with my calling Fulham cheats or anything like that. But Mike's not that kind of guy. But you just know, Paul, like if this were Fulham against Burnley, JB would be going off on one and calling Fulham cheats. Right
yeah,
now.
but Barry wouldn't stand for that, because I think that happened. Didn't they meet just recently? And I think JB mentioned that, and then Barry chirped in and said, no.
Yeah, that was just before Christmas. That game happened. 23rd of December was that day where JB called Fulham cheats, and Barry didn't stand for that. And I know that Mike wouldn't do that to our very own Barry Swain as well. We'll keep you up to date, give you the classified check from the Premier League results from the matches so far from this weekend, and give you the table as well. Just to tell you then, in the results so far from yesterday, to tell you about, let me just fetch these up here for you onto the screen. We won't have I can tell you the Nottingham Forest Man United result as well, but that's not on the screen there. But we can tell you that I finished Luton 2, Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 3, Burnley 2, Crystal Palace 3, Brentford 1, Manchester City 2, Sheffield United 0. Everton lost 3-0 at Wolves. Wolves 3, Everton 0. Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 1 is a result which I know our very own Paul, Luke Turton, will be happy with that. And he was at that game yesterday. The only thing he wasn't happy about with that one, Paul, as he's told us both, was Matt Turner.
I was calling that game. It was a poor game in the first half, but goodness me, it picked up in the second half.
Yes, absolutely. And then today's results to tell you about, it finished Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. That's right, Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. And it also finished Tottenham 3, Bournemouth 1 is the result as well in the other game there today. Well, Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 1, Luke. Is that the one that needs repeating? So it was yesterday. We just mentioned today's results now. And now let's just remind you and show you what the table looks like in the Premier League going into 2024. So at the top of the table then, we've got Liverpool at the top on 42 points. They're leading Aston Villa on goal difference. Man City above Arsenal on goal difference, both on 40 points. Tottenham up into 5th on 39 points. 6 clear of West Ham United, who've got a game in hand. West Ham are in 6th on 33. Man United in 7th on 31. Brighton in 8th on 30 points. Newcastle in 9th on 29 points. Chelsea in 10th on 28, just above Wolves on goal difference. Bournemouth in 12th on 25. Fulham in 13th on 24 after their famous 2-1 win over Arsenal. Crystal Palace in 14th on 21. Nottingham Forest in 15th on 20. Brentford in 16th on 19 points. Everton just outside the drop zone on 16 points. If they're their 10 points added back on, which they got deducted, with reaching financial and sustainability rules, or PNS, profit and sustainability rules, as not in the Premier League, they would be sitting in 12th place. Luton are in 18th on 15 points. Burnley in 19th on 11. And rock bottom on the start of the new year is Sheffield United. They are on 9 points as well. Just a couple more things to tell you about just before we do go. Big thank you to Paul James for joining us. Don't forget you can join Paul and Luke on air tomorrow at 7:55 for the game between Liverpool and Newcastle. That one should be a cracker. We've got that one coming up in the end there. Just to move on, I responded to Barry, just a quick update there to tell you guys before we go. He said, don't get me wrong, he played well, as did West Ham Thursday, but they're both games we should have been winning on paper, especially today with the form Fulham have been in. And by for 1 win in 5, somebody has to be relegated. Fulham, 1 win in 5 now for them after that result today over Arsenal at Craven Cottage. Big thank you, as always, to my brilliant co-commentator who's been excellent alongside me this afternoon, Paul James. Another excellent time working with you, my friend. Also, a big thank you to the producer, Luke Turton. Big thank you for all the help behind the scenes with the updates on the Tottenham game, as well as the button pressing on the goals for us this afternoon as well. So, on behalf of myself, Paul, Luke, and the rest of the team of the Common Club, we just want to wish you a very big, happy New Year to you all. And hopefully you all have a great one and have a great time tonight with your family and friends, whatever you got planned to do. Well, from all of the team here and the Common Club, we'll leave you with the scoreline. Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. Arsenal, 2 back-to-back defeats in the league and 2 back-to-back poor performances and well below par performances as well from Mikel Arteta's men. Will Arsenal have a chance to gain the title, back up into the title race and get back on top form? We'll have to wait and see. But from all the team here, it's a very goodbye to you all.